Hey y'all, Latrell here, and welcome to the story origins of the Friend Trilogy. So the Friend Trilogy is a series, actually, it's born from one of my short stories, which is called, oh my god, it's been a while. It's actually in the Karma, it's in the Karma and Other Shit book. It's called A Friend for the Lonely. A Friend for the Lonely. Y'all, it's been a while since I wrote that story. But yes, it was born from my short story, A Friend for the Lonely. And as you can hear in the title, it has to do with loneliness. So in the short story, A Friend for the Lonely, it revolves around a woman, and she's just been feeling lonely within her like romantic life, social life. You know, she has friends, but it always feel like a little piece of her is missing. She loves her family, she loves her friends, she loves her career, but it's just something in her that's missing. And what happens is there is a robot that comes to find her and wants to befriend her and take her to other friends. So essentially, she's been kidnapped by a robot. Even though the robot's intentions are good, I guess you can say, she's still... Let's talk about the first book, The Making of a Friend. So The Making of a Friend revolves around Lena and her team of robotics engineers. Basically, the world has experienced this epidemic of loneliness, and Lena herself is actually feeling lonely as well, which is one of the reasons why she decided to develop these, as you call it, therapy robots or companion robots. And during the process of the prototype, which is named Trex, things start to go a little wonky. At one part in the story, Trex kind of feeds off and feeds in the mind of one of the junior robotics engineers and realizes how sad she is because her mother passed away, and it was like the anniversary of her mother's death. And during that time, they're like, okay, something's going on and not supposed to do that. It was kind of like an error in its programming. So they started working on it, and eventually they got to the phase where they wanted to test it at home. Her team, Albert and Tiffany, they're just like, no, they're not taking it home. So Lena is the one that takes it home. During that time it's at Lena's home, it really starts to develop a possessive relationship with Lena. So because Lena is the one that created her, or created Trex, Trex sees Lena as its mother, and because of that, it becomes very overprotective of her. And that's when things really start to take a left turn. They have this, they have a VP, and he is over the analytics department. So he's constantly coming down and looking at what they're doing. But in the process, he is falling for Lena as well. And he's actually Tiffany's uncle. And Trex is not happy about that, because Trex wants Lena all to herself, and not in a, romantic way, but as a whole, just like a whole, where the only person or only thing that Lena will ever need is Trex. And you'll hear me going back and forth from calling Trex it's and her. And the reason I call Trex it, because at first in the story, Lena says to her co-workers or her colleagues, robots have no gender. So that's already made up in Lena's mind. Robots don't have any gender. So that's why during the first two books, it's it. And was it the first two books? Well, during the parts of the book, of the story, it's Trex is it. But Trex decide on her own that Trex wants to be a female. And so that's why I'm calling her her as well. So it's it and her. The ending of The Making of a Friend leaves off on a cliffhanger. A very bad, sad cliffhanger. And thus we go into finding a friend, which then switches over into Gabby's point of view. Gabby, also like Lena, is lonely in her romantic life. She has her two sisters, Torrance and Lola. Torrance is married with children, and she kind of went the traditional route as far as romantic companionship. Lola is a little more out there. She's a proud black lesbian, and she'll let anybody know that, and she doesn't care how anybody feels about that. So she's a little more outgoing. She's a little funnier than the other two sisters. I guess you can say Gabby is more in the middle. She is the middle child, but she's more in the middle, like in personality. So she can be a little outrageous one time and then another like calmer the other time. So during the process of the book, Gabby goes on a speed dating event that goes, in the beginning it goes horribly because she doesn't match with anyone but the guys that she is talking to. They're just a little out there. She does like, I think it was either one or two guys, but they didn't match with her. So she went home with no one, but she does meet a bartender / the owner of a bar where the speed dating event is happening, and they kind of hit it off. He kind of hints, his name is Xavier, he kind of hints that he kind of likes her. She comes back maybe a couple of days, a week later, and, you know, they start talking as friends. And the chemistry between them is actually going pretty well. So where the robots come in at, Tiffany is now a consultant for Macro Robotics. Oh my God, I can't remember the name. I'm sorry, y'all. The company has two different names because they Superior Robotics International. Was it? Am I right? Y'all forgive me. Like I said, I wrote these books a while ago. But it starts off as Superior Robotics International. And then they changed their name to Micro Robotics. Because after what happened in book 1, they kind of got a bad rap. And I'm not going to tell you why that is. But in this book, they changed their name to get some of the heat off it, and they never disclosed that to the public. But Tiffany is in this book, and she knows because she's never left the company. But in the process of Tiffany and Gabby meeting, because Gabby wants to actually have one of the robots as a companion or therapy robot, so she just doesn't feel very lonely. They're having a meeting, they're having a consultation, and Tiffany's kind of picking up on something different about Gabby, like a trusting feeling. And so when Gabby finally gets her robot that she designed herself, she realizes that she sees a letter in a red envelope. She reads the letter and realizes something more deeper is going on with this company. And that's when the story, towards the end, it starts to really conjoin with the first story and moving into the third story. So this story, Finding a Friend, is told through Gabby's perspective, where The Making of a Friend was told through Lena's perspective. And then we have A Friend Like No Other. Now, A Friend Like No Other is told through Trex's perspective. And that's when all the chaos happens in this book, because Trex is proven that she's a menace. She's a menace. She may be a prototype. She may be the original, but she is the worst. And all of the other prototypes, or the other robots, the old robots, like there was a robot that the company built that was just for cleaning up. She starts to give them all a part of her so that they're all connected to her. And in that process, they start to follow her and do what she says. So now Trex is completely thinking on her own, and nobody can tell her any differently. So yeah, this is not really the end, but it could be the end. And there may be another part happening to this, but it's going to be a shorter story. It's going to be a short story, but that is the Friend Trilogy. So The Making of a Friend, Finding a Friend, and A Friend Like No Other. And like I said before, this series was born from loneliness, where Nova was born from anger. This is loneliness. So yeah, I am proud of this series. This is my first, and so far right now, my only sci-fi series or sci-fi books, but more to come, more to come. So that is it for the Friend Trilogy. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and comment. I appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, because I will be doing more videos on my books. I want to give them each, if they're a series or if they're an individual book, I want to give them each their own little video, because I feel like I haven't really done that and kind of been lacking on it. But check out the next video, which is going to be about Rose Manor, the secrets inside Rose Manor, which is now going into my paranormal romance, genre or section of what I write. So thanks for watching. Bye.